So this one is lecture number 28, sorry, 18, lecture number 18. I will talk about in detail what is joint probability mass function. So it is very much related with multiplication rule, and the calculation of joint probability also it would be implied from multiplication rule, how we can calculate joint probability. So conditioning is very important. I will discuss in detail conditioning as well. So just I am going to introduce joint PMF. Then I will go to discuss in conditioning approach and how to calculate joint probability mass function with the help of conditioning approach. So coming to outline, I haven't given a sequential outlines. Firstly, I will talk about joint probability mass function of a multiple random variable. So if you are having a random experiment, any kind of random experiment, so in that random experiment, you can observe variety of random variable. It is not like only one random variable. So in a single random experiment, you can observe various random variable. So if you are dealing various random variable in together, then in order to describe those various random variable simultaneously, you need to know what is joint probability mass function. So that's where that concept is coming. And one thing you might have already gone through in calculus or math one, multiple function of several variable or multi-valued function, multi-variable function, function kind of approach will come here. That means function of several variables. So those things I will discuss in detail. So we are having several random variable. So with respect to those several random variable, because those occurs together or they occur simultaneously, how we can describe probability of occurrence of those things simultaneously? That means joint occurrence. We will try to measure joint occurrence of those probability. So I have taken few examples just for motivational purpose. So probabilistic model often involves several random variables of interest. For example, if you are observed in medical diagnosis, the result of several tests may be significant, or in the simply if you go visit any hospital and just observe things. Some patient is going to hospital, then a doctor based on initial observation, doctor suggests go for X-ray, go for any blood test, go for several kind of various tests. The doctor is suggesting for various tests. Now, after having all those tests, so each test you can consider as a random variable. After having, and those tests may take simultaneously. Someone at the same time, both all the tests can happen, but all the tests are related with a single patient. So your random experiment is a single random experiment, and with respect to that patient, all other random activities kind of thing is happening. So random variable is also one. So what is happening after seeing all those result of test, whatever test that patient has gone through, number of tests, then based on those results of test, doctor try to conclude or try to bring some significant kind of conclusion that the patient is having this kind of disease, and take this medicine, you will be fine. So that is all idea. So in a single, I would like to say that in a single experiment like medical diagnosis, several random variable are coming in together. So this one is one motivation to study joint probability mass function. Similarly, if you observe networking, because everyone are using internet a lot, so it all networking issue. So the workload of several gateway may be interested. There would be several gateway to send the message or send the signal. Better call it signal, because you people are from EC background, so call it signal. So there are various way to say send the signal. So each gateway you can call it, it behave like some kind of random variable. So those things. So in a single experiment, you can observe several kind of random experiment, random variable. So that's way joint kind of approach we will talk. So all of these random variables are associated with the same experiment and same sample space and same probability law, and their value may relate in interesting way. So if you are having a collection of random variables, those are associated with the same experiment, then if it is same experiment, then sample space would be same, then probability law would be same, then there definitely it will happen that their values of those random variable may be related to each other. So that's why if it is related, then what is the meaning of joint occurrence of those things? So all these are motivational. So this motivates us to consider probabilities involving simultaneously the numerical values of several random variable and do investigation we need to investigate their mutual coupling or their occurrence together, togetherness of occurrence, how they occur together. So that measure it is given by joint probability mass function. So how we define? So for simple case, we consider two discrete random variable x and y. Both are associated with the same experiment. We are having two discrete random variables. Both are associated with the same experiment. Then the joint probability mass function of the random variable x and y, it can be defined as. So again, I always like to say that always define this. This is the function. That's it is function of two variable. One variable is coming with respect to first random variable x. Another variable is coming with respect to second random variable x. So this function is defined by this probability. I am calling it. This one is the function, and this definition of this function is defined by probability that uh, x is taking value of small x, and here comma always reflect for joint occurrence, or you can say that end, or you can say that intersection. So this joint probability mass function is defined by probability that x is equal to x and y equal to y. And if you try to go into sample space, then similarly you can talk about this intersection, probability of this intersection. So here this outcome is coming with respect to this intersection. So we don't need to till now. You might have already seen that this knowledge of having value of random variable, it would be enough to find probability mass function. We don't need to always go back to sample space. It is not necessary. Just for verification purpose, I used to write it like this way. But you can ignore this. Till now, you might have already observed that we don't need to go always to sample space of the random experiment. We can calculate value of a probability mass function from this definition itself. We don't need to go back. Okay. So coming to further, this joint PMF, what does it do? So this joint PMF, probability mass function, it determines the probability of an event that can be specified in terms of the random variables x and y. For example, A is the set of all pairs that have certain properties, some kind of property. Then how we can calculate that joint value of x, y, those satisfy A simultaneously. So just what you do, take all the pairs from the set A. A would be definitely, it would be a subset of cross product of, it would be subset of cross product of omega x and omega y. That means so these things are directly coming from set theory. I don't have to go in detail much. So like this way. So it is just you can say that you are just trying to calculate probability of joint probability of an event. So that event A is happens to be joint in nature. It is not taking a single value of x only, single random variable x. It is taking some value of two random variable x and y, some value of two random variable. So that's way it is just you can say that I have given this result from the three axioms of elementary probabilities. From that it is coming. In fact, we can calculate the probability mass function of x and y. What suppose we are having a definition of joint probability, or some explicit formula of joint probability, or some explicit value of joint probability. And from there we can easily calculate marginal probability. That means probability mass function. That means probability mass function of x and also probability mass function of y. So those probability mass function we are calling it marginal. That means we are having this. This one is the joint probability mass function, joint occurrence of x and y together. What we do, we will apply some kind of marginalization, and through there we will try to calculate a probability mass function of x only. So this probability we are calling it probability mass function. We are calling it marginal probability mass function. In a similar fashion, also we can calculate probability mass function of y as well. So that we will denote it by py of y. So this we are calling it marginal probability of y. So how we can calculate? Just it is matter of exhaustiveness. So what you do? This one is your joint probability mass function of x and y occurrence together. Now here in this exhaust y, that means take summation with respect to y. So the all values y will be eliminated, and remaining thing would be with respect to x only. So that's way if you exhaust y, that means take summation take a summation with respect to y, that remaining thing would be just function of x. So that corresponding probability mass function, we are calling it marginal probability mass function of x. In the similar fashion, if you what you do to do summation of joint probability mass function with respect to x only, then you will get marginal probability mass function of y. So this marginal probability mass function is nothing, just what probability mass function of y you have already studied for a single case of random variable. Same thing it is coming now. uh, the so that journey I had already expressed, that how we can get a marginal probability mass function from joint probability mass function. So here I will take one example. So the calculation of probability mass function here, there would be a table. In table, value of joint probability mass function would be given here. Then from there, how we can calculate probability marginal probability mass function. So the calculation of probability mass function from the joint probability mass function, using one tabular method. That means if you are having very less value of variable, the random variable are taking are finite in nature, taking very small number of value, then easily we can go for tabular approach. Here the joint probability mass function of x and y arranged in two-dimensional table, it is given like this way, and the marginal probability mass function in a table we can get it by just row wise and column wise approach. So what are all these, you can observe that. So do some, so all these are given. So this table is already given to you, it is given to you. Okay, and here there are two random variable x and y. X is taking how many value? X is taking four value. What are those value? Four values are happen to be 1, 2, 3 and 4. And y is also taking 4 value, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all these are the value of joint probability mass function. That what is probability of joint probability of 0, 0? Joint probability of 0, 0 is 0 is not here. Joint, what is the probability of joint probability of 1, 1? Joint probability of 1, 1 is 1 by 20. Joint probability of 1, 2 is 1 by 20. Joint probability of 1, 3 is 1 by 20. Joint probability of 1, 4 is 0. So like this way, joint probability mass function for value 2, 1 is 1 by 20, 2, 2 is 2 by 20, 3, 3 2, 3 is 2 by 20, and 2, 4 is 1 by 20. Likewise, all the joint value of joint probability mass function is given here. Now your question is that you have to calculate the marginal probability from the given joint probability. So how you can calculate? So see the variability of x, how x vary. X vary horizontally, and y we observe from the plot y vary vertically. So what you do, if you do summation along the rows, so sum all these probability along the row. So what you will get, you will get a further probability distribution. So this you can get it probability distribution. So this you can call it row sum, and row sum of this joint probability mass function, it is giving probability mass function of y. That means that probability mass function directly we are getting from joint probability mass function. So that's why we are saying it is marginal probability mass function of y. Any issue? Anyone is having any problem here? Okay, Sriram, did you get it? How to calculate marginal probability mass function from joint? Yeah. Okay, fine. I'm going forward. So if you do row summation, easily you will get joint probability mass function of y. And similarly, what you do, if you do column summation, take a column, sum it up, take another column, sum it up, take another column, sum it up, take another column, sum it up, all these probability. So this is the probability distribution. So this is probability distribution of random variable x, and we are calling it marginal probability mass function. We denote it by px of x. So this is the scenario through which you can easily calculate probability mass function, or simply probability marginal probability mass function from joint probability mass function. This is the scenario where joint probability mass function is given, and easily you can calculate any relevant probability mass function. Like one is marginal probability, another one is a conditional probability. Conditional probability mass function that I had already discussed. So in order to calculate conditional probability mass function, how we can define conditional probability mass function? What was the definition of conditional probability mass function? I had already given the definition. How you can, anyone recall the definition of conditional probability mass function? So next question is, I'm asking to find conditional probability mass function. Suppose you are going to calculate conditional probability mass function x given y. X given y. Then how you can calculate this? Who would suggest? That means you are going to calculate probability of x given y. So simply go to formula. If you don't understand anything, write in the term of probability. Remember that this one I am saying that it is a function. Okay. Then when you are having a function, always express that in term of probability. So when here this function, it would be defined by that a small here, this small x is variable, y is here for one time it is fixed, for each y we are defining like this way, for each y, for each y you can say that like. So it is one kind of we are fixing y, for each y we are defining a conditional probability of x given y. Okay, so it would be what, uh, probability that x is taking value a small x given y. Now it is what, it is probability mass function. So further we will apply the definition of conditional probability mass function. What does it say? Conditional probability mass function, it will say that probability that x is taking small x jointly with y is taking small y. Small y is taking a small y. Divide by probability that y is taking value y. Random variable y is taking value a particular value y. Okay, this one is coming with respect to probability. All the everything are probability, nothing is function. So we will express, I had already given notation of this one. What is this? Remember this here, it is talking about joint occurrence of x and y together. So that means it is talking about joint probability mass function of x and y. So the numerator we will call it small p x comma y. That means joint probability of x and y, joint probability mass function of x and y, divide by what is the name of this probability that y is taking value a small y. What is the name of this? Who would like to give answer? What is the name of that probability of y is taking value equal to y? Aditi, what is the name of probability that y is taking value of small y? What we used to call that? Aditi, are you getting it or not? Do you understand? Okay, Abhishek, would you like to answer it? No answer. No response. Are you able to listen me or not? Anyone respond? Whether I am audible or not? Okay. I'm asking whether I'm audible or not. Anyone respond? Okay. What is there? Now tell me. Now I'm audible or not? Just respond by voice. It is not like that. Okay. So my question was that what is the notation of probability that y is taking value of small y? What we used to call that? Okay. I'm going forward. So it is simply what, name of the y probability that y is taking value of small y. It is just marginal probability of y that we denoted a small p of. Okay, there would be network issue, so I can't do much about. I can't say much about that network. Okay, otherwise I will send the recorded video as well. So that's why I'm recording in PPT as well. So just try to understand. Also, you can post your solution there in YouTube. In YouTube, I used to upload this recorded lecture as well. So if you have any doubt, you can post your doubt there in YouTube. So I will answer there, or otherwise in Google Classroom. So here you can observe that the this one is joint PMF. This one is marginal PMF. So conditional PMF of any random variable with respect to another random variable, always it happens to be the ratio of joint PMF divided by uh, marginal PMF. So from here you can derive a very interesting result that it would be similar to a multiplication rule, that it says that if someone is asking to calculate joint PMF of a random variable, any two random variable x and y, so it would be what? Joint PMF, that means it is taking jointly two value x and y, x from random variable x and y from random variable y. So it would be product of marginal PMF of y into conditional PMF of x given y. X given y. All these are notation. Don't confuse with this. These are notation in order to differentiate with several other kind of joint PMFs. Several other. So you can observe that it is similar to what we have already studied, that in conditional protein mass function and multiplication rule. It is similar to that. Someone is asking how to calculate a joint PMF of a uh, any two random variable. So it is simply product of marginal PMF. So here y you have taken it first. So you will write first marginal PMF of y, then conditional PMF of x given y. So this is the approach. Similarly, suppose someone is observing uh, x random variable x first. So then in that case, definition of joint PMF, it will take another form. That means joint PMF of x and y, we can write it like this way, because we have already observed x first. So that means we know the marginal probability mass function of x. So first we will write it here, marginal probability mass function of x into, after that, once we have already observed x, then we try to observe y. So conditional phenomena is coming. That means conditional probability of y given x. Y given. This is the approach through which you can calculate joint PMF. Now, but in this question, I am giving one homework. Here, joint PMF is already given. Marginal, I told that how to calculate. Now, I have given formula for conditional PMF in with respect to joint as a ratio of joint PMF and marginal PMF. So, your question is that here, find conditional PMF, both conditional. What is the distribution here? Distribution of conditional PMF. Find the conditional PMF, both conditional PMF. So here there would be two conditional PMF. Find probability conditional PMF of x given y and conditional PMF of y given x. So this is your homework. I need solution of this one tomorrow or in next class, before next class. So submit this value of the this one and this one. Submit it before next class. You can submit in Google Classroom. Just in the near to the box where I used to upload slide and recorded video. So you everyone have to calculate this conditional PMF and this conditional conditional PMF, because I have already introduced conditional PMF first. So you all have to calculate these two value and submit it this one. Okay. Any question about this one? I think this one is very easy question. You all can solve this one. So you can consider this one as your first assignment also. You can consider. Going further, I will talk about mean of binomial random variable. So if you are having various random variable, then based on those random variable, further you can define joint random variable. So mean is one of the mean of several random variable. So mean happens to be if you observe binomial random variable, then binomial random variable, it is just a function of Bernoulli random variable. Binomial itself can be defined with the help of Bernoulli random variable. Now you are having a binomial random variable, and we are trying to find mean of that binomial random variable. What would be that? So we are having a probability class of 300 students. Each student is having a probability 1 by 3 of getting grade A. Each student is having probability of 1 by 3 of getting grade A. That one is independent of any other student. Independent, totally independent kind of. If suppose someone is suppose Ram is having probability of getting 1 by 3, then it doesn't mean that he need help from other student. He will get A with probability 1 by 3 by his effort only. He doesn't need the help of others, any others. So like don't try to give exam in a collaborative fashion. So everyone should appear. So actually teacher always assume that whoever is writing exam, always a student try to appear exam from independent mind. So consider from independent approach. That one is assumption, but I know that mostly people are doing a lot of copy kind of things. So don't do that kind of things if you try to understand problem in a better way. So here question is that what is the mean of x? X is what? X is talking number of students that get a grade A. X is what? X is a random variable in this experiment. It is the number of students those who are getting A. So you have to find the mean. So in order to solve this problem, don't directly go to define binomial random variable. What you do, we know that binomial random variable, it can be decomposed into Bernoulli random variable. So from their perspective, first define Bernoulli random variable. If you take a student, then definitely that a student will have only two scenario. Either that a student will get A or will not get A. So that means binary situation. So if xi, it is saying that ith student is getting grade A, then xi will take value 1. Otherwise, if that ith student is not getting A, then we will give a value 0, whether that grade is whatever is. So here we do from binary situation. So from that perspective, we say that x1, x2, and xn, all these are Bernoulli random variables. And we know that it is very easy to calculate mean of Bernoulli random variable. What is the mean of Bernoulli random variable? It is the probability of success itself. So what is the probability of success? That probability of success means getting a grade A. And what is the probability of success? It is given 1 by 3. So that's why mean of, if you take any Bernoulli random variable, it is equal to probability of success, and that one is 1 by 3. And what is the variance? Variance is just product of probability of success and probability of failure. Probability of success is 1 by 3, probability of failure is 2 by 3. So if you multiply it, so this is the variance. So directly you easily, it is very easy to calculate mean and variance of a Bernoulli random variable. Now come to our given random variable. It is talking about number of students that they get a grade A. So what does it means? So there are n number of students. Suppose there. So Bernoulli random variable. If you sum it up all these, then it will give x. X is your binomial random variable. It is talking about number of students that get A grade. That get A grade. Since X is the number of successes in an independent trial. So if you perform an independent trial, then X is talking about number of successes that always happens to be binomial in nature. So it is a binomial random variable with the parameter N and P. N is talking about number of trials and P is talking about success. So we know also what is the directly we can calculate mean of or expectation of x. can directly calculate. But here I am taking the help of idea of Bernoulli random variable. That means decomposition of binary random variable in term of Bernoulli. So that idea we are taking, and from there easily you can calculate because each Bernoulli random variable that Bernoulli random variable associated with one trial, definitely it will be independent with the Bernoulli random variable associated with another trial. So due to independent nature, we can express this expectation of x binomial random variable as a summation of Bernoulli random variables. Expectation of Bernoulli random variable, and what is expectation of a single Bernoulli random variable? It is 1 by 3. And there are 300 students, so it would be just n into 1 by 3. That means 300 into 1 by 3, so simplified 100. That means in average 100 student will get A grade. If every student is having probability 1 by 3, then in the class of 300 students, definitely 100 student will get, what is the not definitely, what is the expectation that uh, how many student will get A grade? There is expectation that 100 student will get A grade. Further, for a class of n student, you can generalize it, the formula that expectation. You can simply multiply number of class of strength with this probability of success, that NP, that will give your expectation of binomial random variable x. And variance also you can get it. Variance very simple, just multiply PQ with n, because of this formula, this decomposition of binomial random variable with respect to Bernoulli random variable in term of Bernoulli random variable. So all these are related, very simple kind of question.